guys, welcome back and thanks for tuning in. You're listening to the Colored In podcast. I am your host, Nai, that's NAI, because I'm neat and interesting. So today we are tackling our very last pillar, guys, focusing on wellness. It's bittersweet. I always get sad whenever I have to hit my last episode, but fear not, we do have a season 3 coming, and I am so excited about what I have in store for you all. For those who may be new to the series and not familiar with our themes, let me be the first to welcome you to the crew. CREW, CREW, is an acronym for the 4 themes this podcast focuses on. It stands for career and culture, relationships, education, and wellness. If you want to know a bit more about the start of this podcast and the meaning behind these themes, how I use them to execute my content, be sure to check out season 1. And don't forget to connect with me on Instagram, like our post, share the episodes, and DM me your feedback at _colored_in. All right, so as this is our last episode, you guys know I want to do a little bit more for you. I want to do a little bit extra for you guys, but it is focused on wellness. It is focused on bettering ourselves and hopefully for anyone who's listening, fostering your wellness journey. And today I'm actually doing an episode on exercise and exercising. So I have a funny story with my weight and with my weight loss journey. I am currently on one and I have lost 25 pounds and counting, hoping to lose at least 40 pounds in order to reach my goal weight. And I think I'm very much there. So what I think was working this time around that didn't work the other time around was kind of a mindset shift. Instead of me seeing exercise as a chore or a burden, I saw it as a tool. I saw it as something that I can use to like make myself happy, to make myself not feel stressed, to make my endorphins rush. So as a result of that, exercise kind of became my shtick, especially during quarantine and during the pandemic. And then diet wise, I obviously had to make a lot of small changes within my diet, and I made them incrementally. I did not do any hard cutoffs of anything at the beginning. I just very much kind of worked and learned the real meaning of portion control and stayed within my caloric limit. Not to say that I imposed strict ones, but for the most part, I had an idea of how many calories I wanted to eat per day, and I was very mindful about making sure I stayed within that limit. So it's been a good journey so far. I would even go as far as to say that it's probably going to be a lifestyle change now because it has been sustainable for the whole year essentially. And I don't see myself wanting to go back to the way I was in terms of kind of treating my body poorly and not taking care of it. So I'm happy and excited to do this episode for you guys. So let's start this off. Exercise is one of the most potent stress reducers on the planet. And yet, in the irony of all ironies, it's the one thing far too many of us do not make enough time for. There are a lot of reasons why. I'm sure you can come up with a few creative ones. I definitely have. I remember I was like, I can't exercise because it was a full moon. That made no sense, but I definitely told myself that once and stayed in bed. But despite the excuses, the fact is working out can create enough stress for people to skip it. I know, like, just thinking about having to work out can sometimes stress me out. And as a result, I won't work out, and then I end up missing out on a whole bunch of mind and body benefits. So I want to throw some stats at you guys since it seems like this is a thing that I've been doing this season. But a recent APA Stress in American survey found that 62% of adults who exercise to help manage stress found it to be extremely effective. However, it also reported that it remains to be a challenge for many to achieve. For example, 39% of respondents said they skipped exercise in the past month when they were feeling stressed, and only 17% of adults reported exercising on a daily basis. More than a third of the adults reported exercising less than a week, if at all. those were pretty daunting stats considering this was like 100,000 plus survey experiment. 39% of more than maybe 200,000 people say that they skip exercise when they're feeling stressed, especially knowing that exercise can help you relieve stress. Like I said, ironic. It's like, how are we making this logically make sense? Honestly, I feel like you guys don't need statistics to tell you that the benefits of exercise are real, whether it takes place in a fancy gym or in a small studio or even in your bedroom. Vigorous physical activity helps you breathe out strength. It can help you re energize and produce those feel good endorphins. It chemically combats the effect of stress in our brains, which stands to reason since our bodies were designed to move fluidly and frequently and not sit in a chair upwards of 8 hours a day, which is the reality for most of us, especially if you transitioned to a work from home life. So exercise is actually supposed to be, can be fun. I know it's fun for me now. And it's meant to help us loosen up. So let's do this. Let's get into that. Now, one of the leading reasons why a lot of people do not work out, aside from being busy or feeling stressed about it, is this concept called the fear of working out. It's called FOMO. But as anyone who's ever tried any new workout routine, even our best laid fitness plans can make us stress out. Even the ones that work perfectly with our schedule, work perfectly with our body, with our interests, with our passion, they can become intimidating. And so what you end up doing is berate yourself for being out of shape, and then you start dreading exercise. And but I want to say that this has a lot more to do with your lack of self-compassion than the actual exercise or activity or the fitness itself. And if you're trying to lose weight, you probably are judging yourself way beyond the way beyond than what you need to, especially if the scale isn't like dropping or dipping fast enough. So just like that, your happy brain chemicals turns into negative brain chemicals. Not to mention that finding time for fitness can be stressful. Time and energy are finite, and many of us are burning right through hours just managing the daily grind. So forcing a sweat session onto yourself when you're super tired at the end of a hard day, or overbooking yourself, or sacrificing dinners with your family to fit it in, scream anxiety and stress. Like, saying that just now already made me like start to tense up. So with that said, the mental health benefits are just as critical as the physical ones, and they're well worth the effort. In fact, and this is actually a nice little tidbit that I learned, exercise was actually recently designated as an appropriate treatment for major depression, with new research showing that an aerobic routine can lessen depressive symptoms in as little as 4 weeks. Like, that's been tried and true, guys. So it's like, why are we skipping out on this? I guess the idea for me, or I guess something I want to kind of dive into is like, what's the point of staying active or trying to be active and trying to exercise if it starts to feel counterproductive? So like, if exercise or making a plan to exercise is stressing me out, what am I really gaining? Um, and so one, obviously all the health benefits, but still, in order to kind of make an exercise plan that wouldn't stress you guys out, I would emphasize the importance of setting realistic fitness goals so that the benefits of your routine can outweigh any of the additional stress that you feel with working out. And of course, ask yourself how you feel after a workout. And of course, ask yourself how you feel after a workout. You want to make sure that you feel invigorated and not irritated. Like, you have more energy post workout than when you first started. If you're feeling depleted, that means the workout was probably too long, too intense, or not meant for your general, natural, inherent body fluidity. So I say all that to say, we have this idea of the fear of working out, which is that we know that we're supposed to be working out. We know that we're supposed to be exercising, but because it's so stressful or because exercising can seem so intimidating, we end up not doing and we make excuses and we don't do it. And then that leads to another level of frustration on ourselves and judgment on ourselves because we are not doing what we know we need to do to get to the results that we want and reap the benefits of exercise. So, I wanted to give you guys some tips that I feel like can help make fitness feel a lot less stressful, and can hopefully get you guys in the mood or motivated to do a workout. So, my first tip is get rid of the negative thoughts. So, if you think that you'll never be able to do a perfect plank or run a marathon or do a downward dog or whatever it is that you aspire to do fitness wise, the fact is you won't because you're already thinking it. You're already setting that limitation on you. Our own thinking traps us and can stop us in our tracks before we even have a fair shot at succeeding at something. So don't put artificial limits on your potential. Remember that you can build up to just about anything as long as your body parts work. So give yourself that shot and get rid of those negative thoughts that already start to creep up at the beginning. My second tip would be find something that you truly enjoy. So me, I love Zumba. I love dancing. I actually am a licensed Zumba instructor. Um, and so that's what I do most of the time. Like most of my workouts consist of Zumba, dancing, some type of fun, like activity that requires music. And so for anyone who's like that, do Zumba, all right? If you hate yoga and yoga sucks for you, guess what? Don't do yoga. You're just going to end up hating it. And yeah, you can reap the benefits of yoga, but you can also reap those benefits doing a different type of exercise or modifying the activity so that it's not something you hate. Because when exercise becomes that thing on your checklist, it becomes that thing on your to-do list to just check off, it adds to your stress levels. You've got to see exercise as a way to relieve yourself from your stress, as an escape, as a remedy, and you don't want to escape into something that you don't like doing. So there are so many ways to get moving, and I would encourage you guys to explore them and have fun in the process, but you don't have to stick to something if you don't like it. For my third tip, this is like my favorite one. It's like get to know your workout time zone. Your time zone is the time of day that you choose to work out consistently. That day, that time period that you choose, it's going to influence whether or not it sticks or not. So if you're not a morning person, don't force yourself to go to a morning class, okay? You have to find the right time of day that can work for you long term. And it's going to be a little bit difficult at first, especially if you don't have like standard days and especially as you're trying to balance your other priorities. And it might not be um the same time zone forever. I know at the beginning of my weight loss journey, I always used to work out in the afternoon. Now I'm a straight up morning person because it just feels good to kind of get your sweat in, shower, breakfast, eat, go into work, and kind of be done with it for the day. And then slowly but surely, especially now during the holidays when I see that I'm kind of waking up a little bit later, um, I'm working out in the afternoons again. So like they can switch, right? But the idea is kind of find the one that feels the most comfortable. Find the time period that feels the most comfortable for you to work out in and try to keep that consistency and play around with it because you're not going to know right off the bat, but play around with it a little bit um to figure out what your time zone is. And last but not least, do it with a friend. Allow someone to hold you accountable to the activity that you're planning to do, to the workout regimen that you have or that you want to set up for yourself. Make someone hold you accountable or sharing that experience with someone else. You'll be making memories with that person. You'll be reaping the benefits of exercise. You'll be treating your body and allowing your body to reap the benefits. Allow your mind to reap the benefits of exercise. And you're doing that with a friend. You're doing that with a companion, with a husband, with a boyfriend, with a dog, whoever. I don't care. But sharing that activity with someone else can almost always make it more enjoyable. My friend dragged me to it. she was like, will you come to the gym with me? And I was like, no, I don't want to go. She was like, no, come to the gym with me. And I would go just to be supportive for her, because that's how I wanted to be as a friend to her. And then I ended up loving it. And I was just like, you know what? This is actually kind of bomb. I actually really enjoy these workouts. I enjoy these dance classes. I enjoy these ab workouts, these ab circuits. I enjoy all these different. She made me do everything. Oh my gosh. We did dance classes at one point. We did yoga at one point. We did just a regular old gym at one point with different type of circuits. She had moved away, so at that point, that's when I kind of started on my journey separately. But at one point, we wanted to do kickboxing as well, and Zumba. So she definitely kind of pushed me into that space. And I'm very grateful for it, because it led me to where I am today, which is reaping the benefits of, nourishing my body, as well as kind of aspiring to achieve great things fitness wise. So I would recommend all of you guys to definitely partake in that regimen with a friend. That's it for today, guys. This is a short one, but I also don't want to oh beat a dead horse beat a dead horse, so to speak. It's a very clear cut, simple concept. We need to exercise. It's necessary for us to in our lives. And while a lot of people say, abs are made in the kitchen and a lot of it is diet, yes, that is true. We have to definitely watch what we put inside our bodies, and especially how our bodies are processing them. But on top of that, our bodies are made to move and to be fluid and to be active. So we can't just have a really great diet and let our bodies remain idle. So I encourage you all to get up, get moving, exercise, do what you can to treat your body right. Thank you guys for listening. Be sure to share this episode with your friends so that they can join the crew. Find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Breaker, and Anchor. Connect with us on Instagram at _colored_in, and be sure to leave us your thoughts. I'm excited to hear from you guys and can't wait to speak with you soon. Bye. See you in season 3.